There we go. See, I drew this picture in 5th grade where I wanted to be a professional baseball player. Believe it or not, that dream did not end up coming true. And instead, I'm here to talk to you guys today about my retail job. In all seriousness, I did have a much larger video based on Omegle to upload today, but the files got corrupted a few days ago, so that's not happening. And I freaked out, so now it looks like we're doing 2 retail stories in a row. So here we are, ladies and gents. Retail Stories from Hell, Part 2, out of probably like 390, because God knows I have a lot of retail stories over my time in the industry. So in Part 1, I told you guys about me having to help an old man to the restroom, and this one isn't quite as disgusting as that one, thankfully, but it is a little creepier, I should say. Definitely a little creepier. This happened much more recently. In fact, only about 3 or 4 months ago, in fact. It was on a Saturday, and I came into work around 1. Now, this particular job is a 9 to 5 job, so I came in a little late around the second shift, and my manager has been there all day. And for you guys to understand this story perfectly, I'm going to have to give you information that I did not know at the time I came into work. Earlier on in that day, my manager got a phone call from a man. This man said, "Hey, do you guys have any Frigidaire refrigerators in at the moment?" And my manager correctly said, "Yes, sir, we do have Frigidaire refrigerators in." And he said, "Okay, I'll come in and look at those refrigerators." That's all you need to know. That is all you need to know for this story. Also, you should probably know that I work at this retail place that sells refrigerators, appliances, mattresses, and general merchandise, and I am a salesman there. Yes, thank you very much. So there I was. It was probably about an hour after I clocked in at work. I was most likely doing homework at the desk that we have there with my coworker, who I will call Bernie Sanders. Now, just for context, our floor is split up into 2 different parts. There's the general merchandise and mattress side, and then through a little door we have the appliances side with refrigerators and washing machines and such. Now, this old man comes in through the door. Another boomer, if you will. He looks like he's in his 50s, graying hair, balding, mustache, quite overweight. I would say certainly near the obese side of the weight spectrum. He comes in the doors and begins to look at the furniture on one side of the store, away from the desk. My co-employee, Bernie Sanders, says, "Hello, how are you doing today, sir?" And this boomer does not even look at her. This boomer continues to look at the furniture, completely ignoring what Bernie Sanders said. Bernie turns to me and gives me a knowing smirk that I knew oh so well, which means, oh, look, this guy is very rude and doesn't want to say hi to me. When in reality, I was thinking, he's an old boomer. He probably just didn't hear her. But she says louder. Bernie Sanders is a she. Bernie Sanders says, "How are you doing today, sir?" And this man tilts his head slightly as if he hears her, but still looks at the furniture. Completely ignores her. And now I think there's no way this old boomer did not hear Bernie Sanders call out to him. So we're just waiting, now under the impression that this man is rather rude, when he comes up to the front desk and says, "Thought you guys have refrigerators here." And Bernie Sanders says, "Yes, sir, we do. They're through the white door back there." As we usually do, because most customers are looking for appliances and are confused when they're in the first section of the store. So the old boomer goes, "Oh, okay. Did you guys get a call about me earlier?" And Bernie and I turned to each other. "We didn't. Neither of us got a call from you, sir. Maybe our manager did. She's over on that side of the store." And he said, "Oh, well, tell them if you get a call from them, I'm on to them, and I know that they're calling me." And he walks to the other side of the store. Bernie and I are quite confounded at this point in time, because the only call that I received through the day was about a washing machine, and Bernie hasn't gotten any calls throughout the day. So we're both sitting there, rather confused on what was going on, as we didn't have the full story that he called earlier on in the day. It spends a few minutes over there. Bernie and I continue doing our homework when eventually the man comes through the door again, holding a phone out in front of him as if he was recording something. So he walks up to the front, and I, being the nice, sensible employee that I am, say, "Did you find anything that you like over there, sir?" And he said, "No. You didn't get a call about me the other day?" Holding his... One second, let me get something here. "So, you didn't get a call about me the other day then?" And I say, confused, obviously. Confused, obviously, that he was pointing his phone at me. I said, "Maybe one of my manager did, sir, but I certainly did not." He said, "So, you know who called. You know who called. You know what's going on here." And I said, I'm sorry, sir, I really don't." And he said, "Yeah, well, just for the record, you did not receive a call about me, young man?" And I said, "Sir, I most certainly did not." He said, Yeah, well, I hope you both ready to testify against that in an open court. So, yeah, we'll see you there. And the man pointed the camera at Bernie Sanders also, and then just walked out of the store, insinuating that he was going to sue our company for some reason. And I sat there completely and utterly confused and slightly terrified, and I turned to Bernie and we continued talking about how weird that was. Bernie is scared to leave the store, and I don't blame her. Bernie Sanders is a very old man, so... But eventually our manager comes over and we begin to question her. We say, Joe Biden. We say, Joe Biden, what happened over there? And Joe says, he didn't do anything. And I say, he didn't ask you any questions, Joe? And Joe says, no. That rhymed. And I was like, well, that old boomer just pointed a camera at me and said he was going to see me in an open court and insinuated that we were hiding information from him or something. And she said, Joe Biden, who's also a female, said, well, I mean, he came in and looked at the refrigerators. He called earlier about a refrigerator, but he looked at them and just left. So we sat there confounded. Eventually, Bernie Sanders had to leave for the day, and it was just me and my manager, Joe Biden, there. Where around 5, right before closing time, we get a call. And I see my manager pick up the phone, and she goes, nameless retail store here, how are you doing today? And I see her face contort slightly in a look of confusion, and then subtle anger comes up, and she says, Sir, I don't know what you're talking about. No, we did not receive another call. Yes, I assure you, that's one of my employees. Yes. Well, I'm sorry, but we can't help you. Have a good day. Bye. And this entire call lasts a few minutes, and she hangs up, and I immediately knew it was the boomer. I say, Joe Biden, was that the boomer? And she says, yes, that was the boomer. You won't believe what he said to me. I said, what happened? And she said, he was on the phone accusing us of calling him over and over again. Apparently this man has been getting prank calls or something from some anonymous number, and he believed that it was us. And she said that the boomer said, you're sure you haven't been getting any calls about me? You were told to expect me when I came in. What an entitled ass boomer, first off. And second off, we hadn't gotten any calls other than the one he sent us. And she told him that. Joe Biden told the boomer that. And the boomer then said this. Get ready for this one. Get ready for a load of this one. The boomer said, are you sure that young man you're working with isn't a part of the police and that he's really your employee? And my man, that's when that's when Joe Biden said, yes, I'm pretty sure he's my employee. He's been here for about 2 years or so. This boomer thought that I, a weak 19-year-old ugly kid, was a member of a police task force or maybe a terrorist organization, and that I was withholding information from him in order from some giant conspiracy. And this is the last call we got. Joe Biden said that the man eventually resigned and kind of apologized and mumbled a little bit before hanging up. So it's unsure that... So we're not very sure if maybe the man's been getting prank calls from someone and he assumed that we were the company prank calling him. We don't know if he believes in some sort of larger conspiracy and if he thinks the government's after him. Or we're not sure that maybe he's a criminal and he believed the police were after him and I was undercover trying to find him. Which would be so damn funny if I was undercover at this place for 2 years just to catch this old boomer committing whatever crimes he did. Maybe jaywalking or something like that. So kids, that's it. That's my boomer story numero dos. I'm sharing these stories with you because, as I brought up in the first few seconds of this video, and I'm gonna smartly reincorporate here so that it has a purpose and it isn't just an unnecessary callback. I used to have dreams. I used to have dreams to be someone in the world, to have a purpose, to be somebody. And as the years have gone on, I truly realized I'm gonna spend the rest of my life in retail because this YouTube thing, it ain't working out. But I will see you guys in the next video. I love you. Bye-bye.